Now, US President Donald Trump is hosting his first White House dinner to mark Islam's holy month of Ramadan. The move surprised many as Trump skipped the annual traditional dinner last year. The press secretary says about 30 to 40 people, mainly cabinet members and diplomats, are expected to attend. Several Muslim civil rights groups are hosting their own iftar to protest against the president. Arsalan Iftikhar is a human rights lawyer and a senior fellow at Georgetown University. Joins me now from Sterling in Virginia via Skype. Good to have you with us on the programme. The president didn't host this dinner last year, but he is now. Are you surprised?
The short answer is yes. I mean, I think that, with Donald Trump's long-standing Islamophobic history, both on a campaign trail and in his administration, most recently with, the high-profile hirings and appointments of Islamophobic figures like Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, John Bolton, CIA Director Gina Haspel. I don't think that there are many self-respecting Muslims in the United States that would ever be caught dead going to Donald Trump's White House Ramadan Iftar.
According to one source on Twitter, only ambassadors are being invited. Potentially, I suppose, a group that will be very mindful of the language they use in that environment and a situation that perhaps Donald Trump and the administration can control.
Yeah, I think, we're going to see a lot of the diplomatic corps, primarily Gulf country embassy representatives, people that Trump has been kowtowing towards in both his domestic and international speeches. But I think, again, I think what's important to keep in mind, Sohail, is that this underscores, 7 million American Muslims who have felt the onslaught of the Trump administration in both the Islamophobic policies and the personnel which he is hiring in the White House today.
If the olive branch had been offered to various groups across the United States to join the president in this dinner, wouldn't it really have been an opportunity, you might say, for Muslim groups to bend the president's ear?
I don't think so, Sohail. I think that this president has really positioned himself as a full-fledged Islamophobe. The Supreme Court of the United States is very shortly going to rule on his Muslim travel ban. This is a president who once told CNN host Anderson Cooper that Islam hates us. So I think that if nothing else, any Muslims that would go to a Ramadan Iftar hosted by Donald Trump would only be normalizing his racism and his bigotry.
There's a whole range of issues that Donald Trump has to deal with, not just Islam and Muslims, but the Black Caucus, women's issues. How does this all fit into the much talked about midterm elections as America builds up to trying to decide who their lawmakers will be in what could be quite a decisive presidency for him in the latter part of this term?
Yeah, Sohail, I think you're a really good distinction here. I think, any Muslims going to his Ramadan Iftar would be the moral equivalent of any African Americans going to a Martin Luther King Day celebration by Donald Trump. When it comes to Hispanics or African Americans or people of color or the LGBT community, he's really marginalized a wide swath of the American public. And, we saw yesterday, in many primary elections all across the United States, particularly in California, we're starting to see a Democratic upsurge in terms of representation. And we might see a House takeover come the midterm elections in November 2018.
Well, we'll see what does happen. For the moment, Arsalan Iftikhar, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Sohail.